Okay, so as you can see, I got the spout filed, got that down quite a bit. Give you an idea as to how much. This is the original tip to it. Let's see if you can see how much of a difference that is. But there's quite a bit. Put that down to about that much. Tried to keep it as centered as possible. And then round all that out. Double wedding band and the throat. Now we're going to move on to making the base plug for this. Okay, so how we're going to do that is I'm going to take pine board. Okay. Take the pine board and set the horn on it. Upside down like that. And then I'm going to draw, with the pencil, I'm going to draw a circle around the base. So let's set this down and get to it. Okay. So there's the outline of the horn. Now, one thing I do when I'm doing this is I will also mark the direction of the curve of the horn. That way I know when I'm putting it in I'm always going to put it in the same way that way. Okay. Now we cut it out. So this aside. So there's the plug, as I said, curve is going that way. Now obviously with that plug now cut out, you were cutting around the outside, so it doesn't actually fit right like that. This is where the belt sander comes in. And this is why it's such a good, you can use the files to do this. But again, the belt sander just makes it so much easier. You'll notice that I'm not sanding the whole piece. I'm sanding just the bottom, half of it, and I'm doing it at an angle. Okay, so there's always going to be an angle to it, and the reason for that is because the inside of the horn is curved still. So that's going to get put in there, and it's going to help maintain a more flush fit. Okay, so got that. Now we're going to take the horn, and just to make sure that everything fits, see all those gaps there? That's not a good thing. However, it's acceptable. Find out exactly where we're fitting on this. Let me get it back in there now. because you want it as far in as you dare, but it doesn't need to go the whole length. Just a little bit of it. Okay, so we're right about, you see the lines where the horn hit. Right there and there, depending on the angle. So, we can take a little bit more off right there. And that should just about do it. So again, where the C, or curve, and line it up, press down, give it a good press. Voila. Now, fun little trick I've learned is, now if you don't have a heat gun, that's fine. Boiling water works too. It'll soften the horn. And it'll soften the horn and make it much more pliable to work with. And that way, you know, this dent there would be much more malleable and easier to work with. So I'm going to go grab my heat gun and I'm going to heat the horn. And boiling water works. It's just that this is quicker and easier. So you just take the heat gun and put it to it. And basically you're just heating it up until it's more malleable. You see that thin spot there is going to heat up a lot quicker. Most people will tell you that it has to be the same thickness the entire way around, etc., etc., and it should be. But if this is your first try, or you know, if you're just knocking one out just for yourself, it doesn't have to be perfect unless that's the way you want it. You know, it only has to be as good as you want it to be. And you see, all those gaps are now gone. Voila. So what we do is, now that while it's still hot, pop that back off. Take your glue. Hold that. I just sand that part off just to make it look a little prettier on the inside, whether anybody sees it or not. And just run a bead. Run a bead around the base, or around the plug. And press it in. Try to get it as even as I possibly can here. And that is an airtight seal all the way around. Wipe off the excess. And there's your wooden plug there. What we'll do next is we're going to let that sit for a minute, and then we're going to drill and pin all the way around, and then we'll dome out the plug. Nope, perfectly good. And there's that.